Super hyped for Vlogmas. Any plans for specific vlogs? No, I'm literally okay, this is my trailer for Vlogmas, okay? Hi guys. I'm over 500 pounds. I live by myself. I leave the house once a week. Trailer is Vlogmas is actually gonna be boring miss. Rachel and Hecticana are canceled. Oh. I don't really care.
So yeah, she calls it SA. And to me, that just screams victim mentality. And then, a couple days later, she doubles down and continues the victim mentality. Because I have a feeling that's just kind of what she does in every situation in her life. Her first reaction and her natural reaction was to play the victim and cry SA immediately.
He has still indecently exposed himself to this person, and this absolutely is a very traumatizing thing. I've had friends who have been walking down the street and a man has gone up to them and exposed themselves to them. And this might be to a man, it might not sound that traumatic, but to women in particular, this is a very, very traumatizing thing. This is something that can really affect you, really can shake you up, and can affect you for the rest of your life.
Someone's like, when are you going to entertain us? Is that why almost 2,000 people are watching? Stop. Stop.
Who's got 2,100 people watching them? Not you, bitch. Me. Not you, bitch. You.
I get into the HR office pretty quickly. HR shows up and they're sitting with me. And I mean, like, at this point, I was already back to uncontrollably crying, like, as soon as I started talking. In total, I think I was crying for 2.5, 3 hours straight before it finally calmed down.
Least favorite, super easy, Charlie Gold. And if I have to explain why, then I just ain't got the time. I ain't got the time. Is anyone here type deal? Oh my god. I am back. I am back type deal. Where have I been? I don't know. I needed a break, y'all. Yeah, I just need another break. I have to continue choosing sanity, I think, you know. Someone said you have a crash out every 2 business days. This isn't a crash out. This is someone who is publicly going through, like, a really tough time. Like, really tough. And, I don't know. Like, I'm not crashing out. Like, I'm just human. I don't have to get off because I don't care about showing this side of me. Like, this is what I'm going through. I don't cry when I'm off alive, so that feels good. It's just once I get on here, I know the people watching me, I know what they're thinking. And you guys are thinking about Emily. And finally, when I started reacting to those things, she would start recording me. I'm telling you, she would record me if I was naked. She'd record me. She would record my voice. Sometimes it was video. Sometimes it was just like voice messages. And it's like, it's almost as if she was purposely doing this. And then I think back more. I have seen Megan, her ex, naked, acting the same way I did. Well, with Emily, because Emily filmed her. Wow, you guys are like giving me like, I don't know. I'm gonna turn into a narcissist in a minute. I swear on everything I love, I'm not using a filter. How do I prove that I'm not? Wait, I feel so flattered. Stop. You guys are genuinely making me feel so good. Aw, thanks. So that means keep the makeup look. 2 reaction channels got canceled during your break. Oh. Oh no. Is this the We're Back Together makeup look? No. I am single as a Pringle. Oh my god, Pringles sound good. Stop. Super hyped for Vlogmas. Any plans for specific vlogs? No, I'm literally okay, this is my trailer for Vlogmas, okay? Hi guys. I'm over 500 pounds. I live by myself. I have 3 fur babies that I love more than I even love myself. I leave the house once a week. Besides to walk my dog multiple times a day. So, trailer is Vlogmas is actually gonna be boring miss. But you know what? Let's hop along and do the damn thing. Oh my god. Boring miss is coming. I'm just saying. Rachel and Hecticana are canceled. Oh. I don't really care. I don't really fucking care. That's my new song. That's my new jingle.
Hello, my friends. So there's some drama happening over on TikTok that I thought was funny and stupid and worth talking about. So this girl here is being held accountable for some choices that she made, and she just doesn't get it. She does not understand why she's facing consequences for her actions, and she is not happy. So let's get into it. This is Livy, and she was a DoorDash driver, and she had a delivery to make to a guy, and the instructions said leave it outside the front door. And she claims that when she gets there, the front door is wide open, and there's a guy sleeping on the couch, not responding, not moving, but exposed, we'll say, from the waist down. And the video that she posted of that guy inside his house actually got removed from her account, and she received a strike for it. So I'm not going to show it in this video just to be safe. So yeah, she calls it SA. And to me, that just screams victim mentality. And I want to make this very clear, and I'm going to say this a few times throughout the video, but what he did was inappropriate. Even though his couch wasn't right in front of the door, it was visible from the front door. Like, you can look in and pretty easily see the couch. He knew a delivery driver was coming. So yeah, it was not a good idea for him to do that. And yeah, I think he should have been reported. But even if he was standing in front of the door, jiggling and saying, hey, baby, you like what you see, and she filmed it, she would still have been fired for posting it to the internet. That is the problem.
So my chances of getting my account back, they have my money in that account. I was working. I was literally working, and they deactivated me. This is related. They just punished me for posting about my sexual assault while door dashing. They just fired me.
So think about what she's trying to do there, right? She's trying to make it seem like some conspiracy that because she posted about an SA while she was door dashing, they want to cover it up and they don't want her story to be told. Or you filmed the guy inside his house. How do you not understand that that's a problem? And then a couple of days later, she doubles down and continues the victim mentality, silencing her. And notice she's still saying that she was SA'd because she looked inside this guy's house and filmed him. She was SA'd. And then the caption on her video says, I'm being punished as a victim by all sectors involved right now. The police, DoorDash, and TikTok are all punishing me, a victim. I mean, the delusion is wild. If she had maybe taken a picture, reported it to DoorDash, and maybe even the police, and then got on TikTok and told the story, and just said, you guys, I just did this DoorDash, and you wouldn't believe what happened, then it really wouldn't have been a big deal. It probably wouldn't have gone viral, but she would have had her job, and people might have actually seen her as somewhat of a victim. She wouldn't have to start saying she got SA'd. Now, I understand when you walk up to a door, even if your delivery instructions say leave the food outside, it's natural when a door's wide open, because that's unusual, to like peek in and be like, hello, So I don't blame her for peeking in there, but to then call it SA is just a stretch. Regardless of what happened when you got to the house, it's what happened when you got home with the video that was the problem. But she wants to make it about her being the victim, because I have a feeling that's just kind of what she does in every situation in her life. Her first reaction and her natural reaction was to play the victim and cry SA immediately. You know, the problem in society, I guess, we all live in a society.
But I simply say this, we live in a society.
Is there are so many people who are constantly in this state of looking for moments to post, right? So when something happens to them or they experience something unusual, they don't use any common sense. Their mind just immediately switches to, I need to share this mode, right? I need to capture this and share it. Not thinking of the consequences, not thinking of anybody else's privacy or feelings or anything else. It's just, this is something that I need to post so people can see it, and maybe I'll go viral, or maybe they just are addicted to sharing their ideas. They just think everybody wants to see them. So many people like this are potentially ruining their lives simply because they've lost any kind of common sense or just the ability to rationalize or to think through what they're doing.
So because of all of that, it's now led to this campaign of misinformation against Livy for simply documenting her personal experiences. And as you're going to continue to go through this story with me, you're going to realize that every single argument made against this person, bar maybe one, is all completely built on the foundations of absolute lies and misogyny.
And then another major factor that we're not even considering is that man lives in a duplex. In that video, you'll see another door next to his. That's another apartment unit right next to his. That could be a family. Anybody could walk out. See, listen, if I wasn't the target, you still shouldn't be whacking it off, whether you're drunk or under the influence of any substances, with your door wide open regardless, because anybody could walk out and get assaulted from that, seeing what you're doing on your couch. It could be a child. Anybody could come up on your porch and see that. Anybody walking by on the sidewalk and accidentally getting a glance would be a victim.
Now yes, there are a lot of claims to go through here, but particularly the last one. If true, I completely agree with her. Anyone could have saw what she saw. His door was wide open, as we've gone through previously, and he was visible basically at the majority of angles from a very far distance, and this was absolutely not hard to see. Now some people have made some pretty disingenuous arguments in response to this, stating that, well, he was in his own private home, he has a right to be naked in his own private home, and, you know, you could say that that's true if the door was closed, the curtains are closed, and no one in the public eye could see him, but that isn't the case, and I've actually dug into some old legal court cases which actually back what I'm saying here. Now firstly, I want to introduce you to section 245, public lewdness. Now this is a law in New York, which is the state that this took place in, and it states, a person is guilty of public lewdness when he or she intentionally exposes the private or intimate parts of his or her body in a lewd manner or commits any other lewd act in a public place, or B, in private premises under circumstances in which she or he may readily be observed from either a public place or from other private premises, and with intent that he or she be so observed. And actually, I then went on to find a case from 1968, which is pretty similar to this one. As you can see, it's all to do with the Public Lewdness Act in 1968, and the problem was in this case is that public place in this act is not necessarily defined in this law, and that in this specific situation, the person was naked in his car on his private driveway, performing a certain adult act with himself, and the argument that was being made is that this place was no longer private due to this being visible in his car, and with somebody, if they were walking by, could easily witness what he was doing. Despite it was on his private property, they could see it from a distance as he was in his car on the driveway, therefore no longer this being a private place and actually becoming a public act of lewdness. Now, whilst these situations aren't exactly the same and there are parts of them that are different, at the end of the day, the whole legal definition of public lewdness is why I'm using this court case, because it seems that when you are in a private place, if you then expose yourself to where people in the public walking along the sidewalk or, in their car, they can see you, that no longer is protected by the guise of being in private. If they can see you, it technically still counts as public lewdness. And in this situation, the door was wide open. As we've seen, you could see him from a distance, not just on his porch. And yes, he was unclothed from the down below where you could see his private parts. And in my opinion, that means that this falls under the Public Lewdness Act of New York. So I do think that Livy has a case, but the main problem then comes from the fact that, well, in her videos, she has multiple times claimed that she was SA'd, which is a claim a lot of people actually do agree with, but it ultimately is a very strong claim, and I don't actually believe it fits the legal definition in New York State of what took place, and unfortunately people have then took that argument and run with it. But just because her legal definition of what happened isn't true in the eyes of New York law, in my opinion, and just based on the research that I've done, it doesn't mean what happened was moral. It doesn't mean what happened was legal, because as we've seen, it still, in my opinion, is a violation of a law, which is the Public Lewdness Act. He has still indecently exposed himself to this person, and this absolutely is a very traumatizing thing. I've had friends who have been walking down the street and a man has gone up to them and exposed themselves to them, and this might be to a man, it might not sound that traumatic, but to women in particular, this is a very, very traumatizing thing. This is something that can really affect you, really can shake you up, and can affect you for the rest of your life. And again, it comes down to this whole misogynistic thing that I was mentioning earlier, of it's clear that men who can't empathize with women, it's clear that men who really can't just put themselves in another person's shoes for a second, do not understand why this could be so impactful and make someone so emotional. So personally, I can understand why Livy has got onto TikTok and is making these claims of SA, because maybe she truly does feel that these two things of public lewdness and SA and indecent exposure are pretty much the same thing. This is an argument that even I personally would actually stand by. I don't necessarily think you need to physically touch someone for it to come under SA, in my personal opinion.
Instead of feeling uncomfortable and reporting it, she saw an opportunity to play the victim online in front of all of her followers and to maybe go viral. Well, she did the latter, but I don't think it happened in the way she was hoping,
So, yeah. I will say one thing I'm doing for Vlogmas. I'm only going to give one hint. I'm collabing with another YouTuber. Can you try acting like you're almost 40? Girl, I'm barely 35. I will act as young as my brain feels. I would much rather act like this than act old. So, keeping your youth is invaluable. Keeping your youth is invaluable. Oof, I disagree. It's so valuable because the minute I start to feel old, I'm going to act old, and I just feel like that's going to affect my mental health because I'm not being true to myself. It's valuable to be true to yourself, and if you have age regression due to trauma, fuck it. As long as you take care of your responsibilities, that's all that matters. Invaluable means valuable? Oh. That feels weird to me. That feels so weird. Invaluable feels so like it means, oh, unvaluable is probably the word. Okay, sorry. My throat burns. My throat is burning. Drink some Diet Coke. You literally have nothing to talk about. Wow, I feel like this whole time I've been talking, but I don't know. I have a question. If it makes you wet when people... What? Someone said, if it makes you wet when people call you fat. Bitch, where? Where? If you're talking about my TikTok is very much giving sarcasm, as in, like, you cannot think that calling me fat, like, this day and age, is gonna make me feel bad about myself. Like, fat people are beautiful. Fat is beautiful. Fat is simply a thing. And if people want to sit here and say, well, fat is unhealthy and unhealthy is ugly, well, then next time you see, like, the most beautifulest girl in the world smoking a cigarette, you can say the same thing. Like, doctors, heart doctors, cardiovascular doctors, they are, what's the word? Like, questioned. What is one thing that you would never do? They always say smoking, like smoking cigarettes and stuff. So I'm just saying, fat doesn't mean ugly, point blank, pure. And I will never, ever believe that. So when I made that TikTok, it was very much about body positivity. And I've always been about body positivity, always. People get it confused because I'm not health at every size. That I do not believe. But, yeah, that's just how I feel. And I don't know. Someone's like, when are you going to entertain us? Is that why almost 2,000 people are watching? Stop. Stop.
Who's got 2,100 people watching them? Not you, bitch. Me. Not you, bitch. Fuck you.
I mean, for real, if I was boring, there wouldn't be that many people watching. That's just, like, the way I feel. My dream job was actually always, like, for the last, like, I don't know, 16 years, I wanted to be a YouTuber. Yeah. And then it happened. Like, what? Face card lethal. Stop. Imagine if I was, like, okay. To me, the perfect body type is, like, goddess. The goddess body. You know? They're overweight, but, like, they have curves in, like, all the right places. Like, that's what I want. I never want to be skinny. That is not a goal for me. Never has been. Ever.
She always would tell me if I was my actual weight, I would be in California and I wouldn't be talking to any of you guys. And I wouldn't be I would never talk to anybody my size.
Were you
Wow.
together at this time?
Yeah. And I was like, so
Whoa.
basically
Oh my
you would be a piece of garbage. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, so you'd be shallow. And she's like, yeah.
I like the look of being curvy. So can you just imagine how, like, my makeup would look even, oh, I don't even know. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I just said body positivity, but you're your own worst enemy 100%. But, I don't know. Imagine if you loved yourself enough to take your mental health seriously. Oh my God, I do. My mental health, ever since I took Zoloft, like, I'm going to stand a million toes down that Zoloft has absolutely changed my life. This is going to be trigger warning. This is going to be TMI. This is going to be all of it. And I've talked about this before. I was suicidal. I was absolutely suicidal. About 6 months ago, every single day, I was done. And it was so fucking dark and I had to constantly put on a face, but behind the scenes, I was crying 24/7. I did not want to be here anymore. And it was when I was at bingo with my mom, which I've talked about this. I was at bingo with my mom and I randomly just started bawling and I went outside. My mom followed me and she just hugged me and she was like, what's wrong? And I told her, I want to die. And it was that moment. And then I saw my doctor a few days later and all he asked me was, how are you? And I started bawling and my chest felt heavy and I had like a full-fledged panic attack, a breakdown just because my doctor said, how are you? And I was so tired of every day waking up feeling like so lonely. Like the loneliness that I felt was like, it was unmatched. So this is my, like, don't be afraid of medicine. Sometimes you need it type deal, you know? So I'm crying actually happy tears. So hi. I'm crying happy tears because I am so thankful. It feels really good. So yeah, my update, you guys, is I have been healthily taking a break, and I'm just so at peace with life right now, and I'm happy, and like things that don't make me feel good, you know, sometimes it takes a million tries over and over and over, but things that don't make me feel good, like, you just have to say bye to those. And I think that's why you guys have been seeing so many breaks for me lately, because YouTube doesn't always make me feel good at all. But with strength and determination and all the love and support I get from so many of you, like, that keeps me going, genuinely. And I love you guys so much for that, like, from the bottom of my heart, truly. Stu said, there has to be something else to talk about, girly. Oh my god, I've talked about so many topics. So many topics. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go. I just wanted to give you guys a little update, and I'll see you guys in my next live stream. Bye.
Hi, welcome to me. I don't even know where to start. I haven't had my phone in 6 days, and the title's obviously not clickbait. Also, since when did I have a bruise? That is news to me. That actually hurts. When did I do that? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I was in the hospital for the past 6 days. No, okay, listen, I'm weird. And actually, I talked to, fun fact. By the end, I had a little posse of people. And we were all in the seclusion room, which I'm jumping ahead a lot. But the last time I went to this hospital, I kept it on for a couple days because, I don't know, it was like comforting in a weird way, and that's what we all talked about, and she said the same thing. And every other time I've gone to the hospital, I've like made some kind of statement online, or I'm like publicly having a mental breakdown, and then I end up in the mental hospital because, you know, fun. This time was different though. I guess I'm gonna kind of just go back. I mean, I do have more pre-recorded content that I will eventually be releasing, and I'll make sure to like add some context in the beginning just because I know it can be confusing to people. But as a lot of you know, especially if you were watching my lives, like, I was really not okay. I think that was evident, and I was really struggling. And the week before I went to the hospital, I had a situation with one of my supervisors at my job who screamed at me in a way that was really unprofessional, really alarming, and severely triggered my PTSD. And I didn't go to work for 4 days. I couldn't muster it. And so I called out for 4 days plus the weekend, and then I went back the following Tuesday. So that was on September 9th, I want to say, maybe 10th. I am happy today. And the truth is, because I'll just come out and say it. I've not been doing well. I missed about a week of work, almost a whole week, because I was in bed, pretty much. And so today's one of the first days I've been feeling well because I actually recovered from the burnout. So I'm Rosie right now. Like, I'm me. Like, I'm still dealing with my pain. I'm still dealing with stuff. I'm gonna find out on Tuesday if I still have a job. I think I do. But I had to take care of myself, so yeah, I don't really know. I'm not going to get too deep into it. Just know that I am in the midst of creating plan B, C, D, E, F, and G right now. So my life's just a lot in the present moment, because my health just seems to be getting worse, and there's a lot that I have to do logistically and in life as well. And so it's just, it's shitty. But the reason you're seeing me like this right now is because I took all that rest, and I wasn't like doing a ton of content. I wasn't because normally when I don't feel good, I'll force myself to go live anyway, because I'm home, and it's like, well, I may as well do my other job if I can't do my first job, right? That's kind of the logic I get into. And also, I like you guys, and I like hanging out with you guys, but it was getting to a point where I was like literally burning the fuck out constantly. So thank you, Kels, thank you guys, thank you, Connie, thank you, all of you. So, yeah. But I need to kind of come up with a game plan because like I don't have the meal services anymore, and like I missed a week of work that's going to affect me financially. Hadoy. So I'm going to try my damnedest to basically spend little to no money on groceries and live off what's in the house, which is like kind of what I've been preparing for. So this live is gonna be me like making lists, coming up with ideas. I wanted to ask you guys for like meal prep ideas, and I kind of want to go through my refrigerator, my freezer, and my pantry and like create things with what I've got and kind of talk with you guys during the process. I thought I should just do all of this on live. I've also got laundry that I should probably swap. Is it time? I'll wait like 10 more minutes before I bother to go out there and check, so I know for sure it's done. So yeah, I do have some more good news. We just spent $236 on vegetables. I'm not going to say your first name because I don't know who you are in my chat, but whoever just cash apped me, thank you. The fuck? You're so nice for that. And I went to work, and the night before I just felt horrible. I was like sick to my stomach with anxiety. I wasn't doing okay, and I make myself go to work. I wake up early, run some errands, get myself to my job. I go, and before my first break, I took 2 calls, and they were both like no sales, even though I like worked really hard on those calls. And I ended up just like the entire day I was like on the verge of tears. I was terrified to run into the supervisor, and I went to the bathroom after break. So during break I like sat with my work friend and I cried a little bit, and I was just like, I even told this friend, I was like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to work here because like I'm losing my mind. And like when she first came in, we were all sick of her because she was really symptomatic. So she was really not doing good in terms of like, she was very manic. She was just like motor mouthing. She could not stop like trauma dumping her stories. I can't keep doing this. I keep missing too much work. I'm like so stressed out, blah, 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 blah. So I'm supposed to go back on the phones, and I'm staring at my computer, and I'm like, if I get on these phones right now, I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown with a customer on the line, and like I can't do that. So I go to the bathroom and I just start crying and crying, and eventually I'm like, I just gotta call my mom. So I call my mom, and she picks up, and I'm like sobbing, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like explaining to her that like I can't do this, like I think I need to quit my job. I don't know what else to do. Like I feel like I'm a failure. Blah, 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 blah. And my mom said a few different things with me, but she was like trying to ground me, and I hope she doesn't get mad at me for sharing this with the internet, but like I think it's just relevant because I've kind of hinted at this myself, because I knew this, but my mom has never directly said these words to me, but she was just like, you know, without your financial help, we'd have to sell the house, and there's just a lot of implication with that. And that kind of snapped me back into reality a little bit, because I was just like, I just need to get out. I just need to find another way to make money. Like, I can't do this. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do this. If someone actually in one super chat does the maximum $500 amount, today only, this live only, if someone actually does that, I'll do it. I'll be terrified. I might cry, but I'll do it. This is for this live only. This is not for any future lives, but I'm feeling spicy. And this angle's kind of perfect if I were to do it. So, yeah, basically, like I was saying, lots was going on. And my care was just kind of crumbling apart. I was really stressed out about money, but I kept missing work, so it was making the money problem worse. And I just felt so stuck. And so when my mom said that, I knew what my only other option was. And it just kind of clicked, and I was like, I can choose to fight this, and make the wrong decisions, or I can just lean into it and do what's best for me. Walk outside. That's when the mentors who had been helping me were like, yeah, you can do it. And I just like shook my head like this at them, grabbed my backpack, grabbed my Miyoki, and walked back to HR. She wasn't there, so I had to kind of turn back around. I flagged down one of my favorite supervisors and brought her and said, when you're done with this person, can you please come to the hallway? Because I just needed to talk to her privately. That's when I expressed to her that I was going to need them to call an ambulance because I wasn't safe to drive for a few different reasons. But yeah, so basically I spoke with her and I told her that I needed to speak with HR and that she wasn't in the office, that I wasn't safe to drive and I was going to need to go to the hospital. And I was trying to be vague, especially with her. So we talk a little bit, and I just kind of explain some things, and I get into the HR office pretty quickly. HR shows up and they're sitting with me, and I mean, like, at this point I was already back to uncontrollably crying, like, as soon as I started talking. In total, I think I was crying for 2.5, 3 hours straight before it finally calmed down. Before I got in the ambulance, I didn't even end up asking this, actually. My HR rep turned to me and she's like, don't worry about your job. Do not worry about your job. I'm putting you on leave for a week. Da 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 da. And so I was like, okay, breathe. And then she said she would even backdate it for the days that I've been missing because she saw how, like, not okay I was. So I go from the ER. I get transferred to the mental facility, the mental health facility, and they put me on the adult unit, the main floor unit, which is like really intense. That's the one where the people who have like the most extreme symptoms are. I had a roommate who definitely had some kind of like intellectual disability while also dealing with some like, pretty extreme symptoms in terms of her mental health. And like at one point in the middle of that night, they had to put a shot in her thigh. Like, it was a lot, but it was nothing like my experience when I was medically kidnapped. They did not have hospital beds there, and I wasn't able to get that arranged because, quite honestly, the ER I was dealing with was a little incompetent at best. But that's a whole other story. Side note, I am not a doctor. I am going to explain and discuss my care, how things worked for me. Do not take medical advice from a fat bitch on the internet. Moving on. There were people that were sitting in different rooms and they ended up coming in even though they weren't going to participate, coming in and listening to me sing. And I literally held a concert in the psych ward. I called it a Rosie concert. Yeah, I still have a lot to figure out, which is part of the reason why I am going to be on a leave. Like, she put me on a leave. I'm staying on a leave because tomorrow I've got a lot to do. So I will be doing a short-term disability leave again, but this time it's going to be much shorter. I will not be on a leave nearly as long as I was last time. I'm not cured. I'll never be cured, but I feel like I'm treated. Finally. I don't even know what to say to that. I feel like Rosie. I feel like Rosie. I don't feel like I'm consumed by my trauma or my depression or my anxiety, or I feel like Rosie.
So this is my, like, don't be afraid of medicine. Sometimes you need it type deal, you know? So I'm crying actually happy tears. So hi. I'm crying happy tears because I am so thankful. It feels really good. I feel amazing on that front. So anyway, I took a picture of myself. I might put it up, I might not, but I took a picture of myself when I was in the ambulance to send specifically to my best friend. I wasn't going to post it publicly, like on Instagram in the moment. Like, I knew that because I was just like, I'm not going to do that. But I took a picture and then I went to go text it and I looked at it and I went, oh my God. I don't know if I'm going to do that. So I actually ended up texting her. I was like, hey, I took a picture
do you still want me to send it? Because it's like a lot. And so I did, because I look so fucking broken. I broke. I finally just broke. Like, I just kept trying to strong arm everything, push through until I couldn't.
Um, 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 yeah, I don't care if she likes me or not. I mean, I can't say that I care. I've never really cared about stuff like that, to be honest. Point blank, peer. Okay, get over here, members, now, pronto.
What the hell does she have merch for anyway? What the f do these friggin' reaction channels have merch for? Some of them.
All the stars are close, all the stars are close.